recently I had some kittens I actually needed to find a new home for, so um, I decided, or actually, Craigslist is one of the few places you can actually list things online, you know, as pets and stuff like that, to have them rehomed. So I was using or attempting to use Craigslist to actually list um, the kittens that I needed to find a new home for. So um, what I ran into is actually an issue where obviously, you know, the posting was flagged for removal, um, and I didn't really figure that out right away. Because I thought I was doing something else wrong. But the reality is that sometimes um, you can have an internet connection, but the internet connection is not actually um, geolocated in the area where you actually live. So what happens is that they you know, how Craigslist does it, but I assume they somehow scan posting to see if uh, the location where they are selling the item is the same as the location of where they're connected from. So in some cases that's not true. So actually um, the, the posts are flagged for deletion. So and to show you what that is, I'm just going to use the Surfshark and VPN connection rather than my physical connection to kind of show, because like I say, some ISPs, even though they are providing you service in, I'll just use Minnesota as example, is that's where I live, but you live in Minnesota, but the IP address that they actually assign for connection to the internet is actually somewhere else. And so basically, that's why Craigslist, flags your postings to be deleted, is because you in this case it would actually be I wanted to post something for sale in Minneapolis, but my location actually shows up as being Chicago. So I'm just going to kind of show you that. Then I'll just disconnect it. But okay, so on my computer I can just type in geolocation, and the first thing that's going to come up is this site that actually shows geolocation for where it thinks I'm actually at. So obviously it's because of VPN, and I know the VPN is supposed to be connected to make it look like I'm in Chicago, Illinois. So that's what the VPN connection shows. So what I'm going to do now is actually disconnect, and then because I changed my internet connection to one of the lines that actually will physically show up in the Minnesota or Minneapolis area, this should also reflect that if I just reload the page. So that you can see that it actually shows up as Minneapolis now once the VPN is disconnected. And if you're actually geolocated in another area and you're trying to post something in an area that it doesn't show you're physically located in, then that's maybe a reason why your Craigslist postings actually are flagged for deletion, is because things don't match up. So just be aware of that. I don't know if there's anything I can say that you can actually do if you have only one internet connection, and the ISP actually gives you an IP address that doesn't reflect where you actually live. I don't know, maybe the ISP could actually do something, or maybe assign you an IP address that actually is geolocated closer to where you live. So it would work on Craigslist, and obviously in some other areas. If that's not possible, you can actually even possibly use your VPN connection to connect to an area that's closer to where you're at. So I guess I'm just not okay. So I'm gonna just try to see if I can pull up the locations. I don't want to connect. Okay. So essentially, this is Surfshark, and I can connect and appear as if I'm in any number of areas. Unfortunately, none of them with Surfshark are actually in the Minneapolis or the Minnesota area. So that isn't going to provide me any benefit as far as connecting a VPN and still looking like I'm in Minnesota, except hiding my real IP address. So like I say, I don't know if there's anything I can actually tell you can actually do besides maybe your ISP can help you. I don't know, but it's quite common. Say if if you're actually using a cell phone and as a hotspot, that in some cases some cell phone or cellular carriers may not have IP addresses that are located in the area that you're actually where you actually live. So you run into this issue no matter what when you're using that hotspot. And I don't know about like cable and fiber and stuff like that, but there's always a chance that the geolocation is not going to show up to be where you live. So just be aware of that. And this is just informational video to kind of point that out. So it's something that you can look at if you're having issues posting on Craigslist. But thanks for your viewing this video, and hope to see you again next time for the next video.